What's the haps? I'm John, aka Meroka, and welcome to Spiel. We find ourselves in the Ruby Lion Gate this week, which is going to be predominantly shock. I'm not sure whether I'm wearing the right gear for this. It's constructs. I actually kind of am. That works. Okay. I'm happy with the state of affairs. I have the things to fight the constructs. This is good news, good news. Speaking of news... okay, that would have been a much better segue if I had any news, so we're not really going to be able to do Spiral Knights news in the absence of news. I guess the autumn prize box things are still going on. If you want to win, like, a cup of hot cocoa, or whatever the heck it was, I think that's what it was, wasn't it? It's like the cosmetic stuffs. That's there, you can get that. It was something. I don't know. It's not terribly important because I'm not terribly bothered about that content, so yeah. No Spiral Knights news this week. Boring week on the news front. So I suppose might as well launch right on into the questions. That is what we do here on Spiel every week. You guys leave me interesting things to talk about, and then I talk about them. It is a symbiotic relationship. So, yeah, if you want to send me more things to talk about next week, do that now. I might as well get that out of the way early. Just to give people a reminder, nice and early on in the episode. If you wish to be featured in next week's Spiel in some small kind of way, tell me what you want to hear me talk about. Bonus points if it's not Spiral Knights. I have talked about all the Spiral Knights I could possibly manage in one lifetime. I'm pretty certain at this stage. There can be no more I could possibly have to elaborate on this game. Speaking of which, let's do some Spiral Knights questions. Valenissima says, how do you keep playing the game? That's my question. If you stop playing Spiral Knights, are you going to be giving away your stuff? I presume is where that's my... They just say, are you going to be giving away? I presume that means my mountains of cosmetics and things and stuff that I have in my inventory. Am I going to be giving that away? No, because that's a feeding frenzy I don't want to have to deal with. Just going, hey, I've got a lot of stuff. Here, people have it. In any video game, that's not going to end well for my sanity. Or keeping people happy, because people are going to be angry that I gave them to someone else, not to them. And that's messy. Now, if I quit Spiral Knights, I'm not giving my stuff away. Or because I never do that with any game, just on the basis that there's always a little bit in the back of my mind that's like, what if I want to play this game again, and I don't have any stuff? I've still got all my TF2 gear. Occasionally I get people will poke me. Not very often. It's not like I've got any unusual hats or anything, but occasionally people are like, hey, you don't play any TF2 anymore, do you? What about your hats? I'm like, no, you can't have my hats. Just because I don't play the game doesn't mean that suddenly they're all going to Goodwill or whatever. Or Oxfam. Whatever is the most representative of something you would be able to relate to in your country. We don't have Goodwill in the UK. So, no, I don't give stuff away. Super Monday Night Combat is also another good example of that. I admit I have given away a couple bits of that just to someone who just... He wouldn't let up and just badgered me until I totally caved and was like, oh, right, here, have a few token pieces of equipment that I really don't care about and wouldn't wear even if I was playing the game because I actually bought better gear than that. Or better cosmetics than that. Super Monday Night Combat is one of the games that I paid for cosmetics in, man. There's not many games I've done that with. Super Monday Night Combat was one of them. There were costumes in that was like, look, I play this character a lot, and they've got a really cool costume. I'm paying for the money for that costume. I will, because I'm invested in this character. So, I had some stuff that were kind of freebies from packs, and I was like, eh, they weren't bad costumes. If you didn't have any alternatives, they were pretty cool. But if you had paid for the premium cool stuff, they were better. So, they ain't getting given away now. And then I've got, like, some, like, ludicrously rare one that I guess if the game had much of a player base, it'd be pretty valuable, actually. I know it was, for a while, pretty reasonably valuable, and I had no idea. I kind of got shot. I had two of it as well, because they were, again, it was just PAX promos, but it was, like, a very limited, super premium PAX promo. And I managed to snag two of them by loitering around the Super Monday Night Combat booth for a really long time and playing lots of games. I just kind of wound up with two of them over the course of PAX. And yeah, someone kind of sharked me out of one of those. I just genuinely had no idea quite how rare and sought after they were at the time. It was like, it's an item I got two of. This guy is willing to give me what sounded like a pretty good deal, and it was like, here's a lot of really powerful, actual, you know, useful items in the game in exchange for it. And it was like, well, I have two of these cosmetics, and you're giving me stuff that's going to actually make a difference in terms of how I play the game, actual, you know, potent stuffs. So it seemed like a good deal. I mean, I've still got the other costumes, so it's no big loss, I can still play that, but... yeah, that's the sort of thing that if that had been in like TF2, that's... If Super Monday Night Combat had ever been of the scale of TF2, the size and success of TF2, that would have been worth some money. That would have been worth actual, genuine, honest-to-God money, I think. We're talking maybe not Max's severed head kind of money, but... Or Buds? Yeah, maybe equivalent to Buds. Is Buds a good compositor? I can't quite remember exactly what the major units are in TF2. TF2, there's the Hat of Undeniable Wealth and Respect, which is like ludicrous, and there's barely any of those. There's Max's Severed Head, which is pretty premium. Buds were pretty premium. I can't remember which of the two is more premium than the other. And then there's like Bill's Hat. A little bit of me thinks it's maybe sort of in the Bill, somewhere between Bill's Hat and Buds / Severed Head. I don't know, in terms of value. Or it would have been sort of just in the scale of things that are premium within video games, as far as virtual items go. I don't have it anymore. Well, I got one of them. It's a shame there's no player base to sell it to, for a ludicrous amount of money. Oh well. That went off on a bit of a tangent. The first part of the question, the bit that actually was the question, was how do I keep playing the game? Because I'm not allowed to stop? I honestly, look, I don't play Spiral Knights. I genuinely don't play Spiral Knights. I've been saying this for like 2 years now, pretty much. I don't play Spiral Knights unless I genuinely have cause to. If I've got, like, if there's a group wants to do group stuff, if, like, the Arsenal podcast were like, hey, let's do another shopping list, I'd probably be game for that. If they add new content to the game, I'm game for completing that for all of the hour or so that that'll take to do any new missions they add. And outside of that, well, the recurring events have added nothing new in a long time. And yeah, there's nothing keeping me playing the core game. I'm literally only here for the Spiral Spiel, guys. I haven't, in any seriousness, played Spiral Knights in years now. I'm here because you guys want to keep seeing it, frankly. It's the only thing keeping me here. I don't play it any seriousness. If you want MMOs that I do genuinely play, you need to look towards Sky Saga and Wildstar at the minute. Those two are my MMOs that I play at the minute. If you're wanting things that I play, those are them. This ain't it. Sorry. I know that's not what people want to hear. People want to hear that I'm like the biggest fan of Spiral Knights, and I can't tell you I am. It's been neglected and mismanaged for far too long now. It's been going the wrong way since Nick left, frankly. Things have it's just been endless cosmetics and... What is this thing doing? I can't hit it, but it's stopped. Huh, strange. Oh, now I can hit it? Yes, now I can hit it. Yay. Yeah, it's been endless cosmetics, very, very minor content updates that aren't remotely compelling enough to keep people in the game for any length of time. Yeah, anything that you want to keep people in the game shouldn't be content that can be completed and marked as complete. In order to keep people playing, it needs to be something that people can come back and do a bunch. Quite frankly, something that you have to grind for a bit would be something that would keep people playing at the very least longer than playing through 2 new veteran missions or whatever. Vanguard, that's the word I'm looking for. Vanguard missions. Yeah, there's no... I'm out. I'm almost entirely out of Spiral Knights. I cannot say that I am in. Glio Girl says, what kind of music do I listen to? Oh man, music. I got into music like really late in my life compared to most people. Most people get into music like pretty early on in life, early teens if not earlier. I didn't really start listening to anything until I was like 18 when someone loaned me an album that they did. It was like some best of metal, just broadly kind of album, and they were like, here, listen to this, I think you'd really like it, and for whatever reason I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, sure, I'll listen to that. First track on the album was Rainmaker by Iron Maiden, Good God, that track changed my life. Yeah, I got really big into metal for a good few years, right through university and a little beyond. Probably entirely off the back of Iron Maiden's Rainmaker, so if you want musical tracks that changed my life, that's one of them. That's a bloody good track as well, Rainmaker, by the way. So yeah, I got big into metal for quite a while, a lot of classic rock metal stuff. Throughout uni I got more into power metal, kind of more epic stuff. I discovered Dragon Force, big into Dragon Force, that kind of thing. Sonata Arctica was a band I was a big fan of, indeed still am, to be fair. I'm still fans of this music, I still like it, I just don't listen to it as often as I should, I guess. There's a lot of music that I'm like, yeah, this music's great, but I never listen to it, I don't know. Most stuff I listen to these days seems to boil down to video game soundtracks, I guess, in a lot of instances. A lot of silly stuff. The music I've listened to, broadly speaking, over the last year or so, I guess if you want something more recently, it seems to be by and large... Banished Privateers I've been listening to for a few months, because I can't recommend them enough. They're a Swedish band, I think, who literally just write sea shanties. They are incredible. They just write. It's not like they're not even playing Drunken Sailor or whatever. They are writing original, brand new sea shanties. Those guys don't realize it's not the 1700s anymore. They just haven't clocked onto that part. They're just like still writing songs about scurvy and walking the plank, and yeah, those guys are fantastic. Go listen to them. What else? Yeah, silly stuff like Paul and Storm, actually. I listened to a good bit of Paul and Storm this year, I suppose. I kind of get back into them every PAX because they're like one of the big headliners, or at least major acts at PAX, so every time that kind of rekindles my love affair with Paul and Storm. They're pretty good. They do some songs. They have a song about pirates as well, which if you ever have the chance to see live, you absolutely should. That should be on everybody's bucket list. See Paul and Storm sing a song about pirates. That was silly. I just broke that and opened the freezer in my face. Nasty. Yeah, a lot of our audience participation, a lot of yars, and the track, if you were to listen to it on their album, the song that they sing is about 2 to 2.5 minutes long. When played live, when accompanied with audience participation, it can take 20 to 30 minutes. I have seen there is a rendition on YouTube of them at some gig somewhere. Am I going the right way? I think I'm backtracking, aren't I? Yeah, 'cause the stuff on the floor. They have taken up to 40 minutes to do that song before, which is just ludicrous. So, that's a great one. Go type in Paul and Storm, The Captain's Wife's Lament into YouTube, and find a live version. Find them at Woodstock or PAX or something. You need to see it live. There is a version from PAX East 2012, in which they sort of, in the middle of the song, they just decided to kind of just segue into Manamana at some point, you know. Manamana, you know, that one. The Muppets one. They just got 4,000 people to sing Manamana for no reason, other than they wanted to. It's fantastic. Those guys are great. Yeah, my musical tastes, I don't know, they're just kind of lacking at the minute. I'm not terribly adventurous with finding new stuff anymore. I was once upon a time, when I was in my metal era. I kind of got into a bit of pop punk type stuff at one point as well, so it was a broad spectrum of punky through rocky stuff, and I still like that, I just don't listen to it. I don't know why. I could quite comfortably listen to it. I guess it's because I'm spending most of my free time like watching YouTube instead of listening to music anymore. I usually got vidges on rather than... Oh god, this is going to hurt, yeah. I usually got vidges on instead of music's on. And then on, like, travels and stuff, usually playing games on my phone instead of listening to music's on my phone. It's just, I don't know, music's not a thing that's not a big part of my life anymore, I guess. Not that I don't appreciate it, it's just not a big part of my life. Chillin' Stormtroopers, a couple of questions from a couple of weeks, one from a previous week that I had missed, as well as one from last week, which is, what do you think about Pokemon Go and XYZ, preferably Cell, I mean Zygarde? I don't know what that last bit means. I googled the words, and apparently those refer to something to do with specific Pokemons, which, yeah, I'm gonna want a pill here. Pill, take a pill, take a pill, take a pill. Yeah. That's something that involves mechanics in Pokemon I haven't been familiar with in a long time. that's new stuff going on there. I don't know what the Zygarde Cell things are. Last gen of Pokemon I played was Gold, Silver. Actually, to be fair, I played Gen 3 if you count Fire Red, because that was just me nostalgizing. It was just like, hey, they remade Red, and I had Red back in the day, I shall go and play Red again. So technically that was Gen 3, but it was Gen 1 in the Gen 3 engine, so yeah. I don't know where that counts. Pokemon Go, it's basically Ingress. It's made by the guys who made Ingress. It's Ingress with Pokemon. These guys, I played a lot of Ingress. I'm level 8 in Ingress, which is the maximum level for unlocking privileges and stuff. There's the 16 levels max in the game, but it's mostly just grind getting to level 16. So 8 is where the game really caps out for stuff. And I played it a bunch. I got to level 8, and it mostly fell off my map in favor of playing Final Fantasy Record Keeper instead, to be quite honest. Final Fantasy Record Keeper just totally replaced that game in my life. But I know Niantic know how to make a game. I know they know how to make a very good augmented reality game, and I'm expecting good things from Pokemon Go, and I will definitely be giving that a go. I'm intrigued to see how it works. It's not going to be exactly like Ingress. It can't be. The mechanics just, I don't think the mechanics would work. It's not an IP that lends itself to the Ingress formula. But like I say, these guys know how to make an AR game, so I'll trust them to make something cool. Oh my god, with this, it's the healer. The healer is the problem here. I need to be killing that. Why have I not killed the healer? Oh god, Chad, have a heart attack, please. You will die of a heart attack. Please make it so. Oh god, I'm very nearly dead. I need your hearts. I need that heart. Some defense would be nice. Let's see if we can finish them off. Gorgos, why are there so many Gorgos? That was just too many Gorgos. I can't hit you. I have no shields. I'm dead. Ah, sucks. Dang it. Dang it. The game should not be allowed to spawn so many Gorgos. They're just sneaky, elusive things. They just sort of weave back and forth all over the place. You can't hit them. Hate them. Hate them. Hate them with a passion. And Pokemon XYZ, it's just new gen. That's just the new gen of Pokemon, isn't it? I know Pokemon X and Y. I guess Z is presumably your director's cut yellow / crystal / emerald version type thing. I can't say I've got any interest in that particular Pokemon because I just got out of Pokemon after Gen 2, really. On the podcast we joke about, oh, it's a shame they never made more Pokemon past Gen 1. It's a great game. They could have done so much more with more than 150 Pokemon, but that's just us doing the old Star Wars joke or whatever. Yeah. Is it Star? No, is it? I forget which. No, there is a franchise that they use for that joke, and I think it's... Is it Star Wars? It's not Star Wars, is it? I can't remember. Whichever, yeah, it's probably been applied to many franchises in the past. It's the old joke of, oh, it would be great if they made more games, just basically ignoring the fact that they did make more games / films / TV shows or whatever, but it was so bad that they're not worth acknowledging. I will acknowledge Gen 2 because I enjoyed Gen 2. I liked a lot of the Pokemon, I liked a lot of the stuff that went on in that. Gen 3 I checked out on just because it was like... At that point, they were actually just making Pokemon out of shapes, and at that point I do recall saying, quite vocally at the time, I was like, this is pretty barrel scrapey as far as Pokemon designs go. They're clearly running out of ideas. But somehow they have forced the formula out. I could have got my shield up sooner there. They forced the formula on through many, many more generations, and it doesn't look like it's going to stop anytime soon, so yeah. I guess I might become more familiar with the Pokemon from Gen 3 through 5, 6... How many are there on to now? 6, I guess? Yeah, I might be more familiar with those Pokemon if I play Pokemon Go. And I probably will. That's going to be cool. Chillin' Stormtrooper also asks if you had a combination of superpowers, what would they be and why? You can only pick 2. A little bit of me wants to say immortality. Is immortality a superpower? Can you have that? Is that slightly cheaty? Is that the superpower to rule all other superpowers that don't even matter? Is that the superpower that allows you to live so long that you see technology manage to encompass all other superpowers that could possibly exist, and therefore the other superpowers are completely moot? Because basically, if you can live long enough, we're going to have personalized jetpacks anyway, so now you can fly. Oh, and maybe some sort of personalized stealth suit? Great, now we've got invisibility. Yeah, technology can kind of replace superpowers if you have immortality. Is that cheaty? Assuming it's not, I'd kind of like to go with that. I just really want to see the future, you know? Future sounds great. Potentially, assuming we don't kill ourselves. If we all killed ourselves and my superpower was immortality, it's going to be a boring eternity. I would have to kind of try and invent some sort of space travel device for myself and propel myself to some place that I thought that there might be some life and try and find it. I don't know. It's okay, I've got all eternity to figure it out, I suppose. It's the worst that could happen. I'm immortal, right? And the obvious curse of immortality is that you will live long enough to see everyone you've ever known, cared about, or been aware of, or ever will be aware of, or ever will care about, die in your lifetime. So that's the downside of the whole immortality thing. It's kind of double-edged blade, that whole shebang. Barring that one, yeah, flight seems pretty solid. Flight's a pretty cool one. I could dig flight. It would make the commute a lot easier, I gotta be honest, if I could just fly to work. Invisibility always seemed like a pretty solid one as well. I kind of dig invisibility as far as things go. Just being able to just vanish. I don't have to deal with people. That's okay. That's pretty cool. Probably those two. If I can't have immortality. If I can have immortality, I'm taking that, by the way. I Am Phoenix says, is there a time or place when we get to play... is there a time or place where we get the opportunity to play with you, Meroka? Do you have a Steam group we can join? Well, let me check my gate map first, because I need to know what I'm fighting, because I haven't changed my gear yet. And it is a creeping colony, which is slimes, which could probably be better for my loadout. Hang on. Right, slime. Where do slimes? Jellybane. Cool. That should do the job. We got that, and we got that. We can set them on fire. Brilliant. Flaming icy slimes. Cool. We might be able to melt the jellies. That'd be cool. Indeed we can. Hang on. Yeah, this is fun. Let's melt them. Burn. Burn. Yes! Look, it melted. I love these jellies. They're like, they are just by virtue of that mechanic, they're like one of the more interesting enemies in the game. And they don't do that there's like nothing else in the game kind of does that. If you inflict a specific status on them, they just transform into something like entirely else. Which is really cool. I dig that about those jellies. Yay, transforming jellies. Anyway, a time or place to play with me, a Steam group. I have a Steam group. There is a Button Mash Steam group. I don't use it for much beyond Steam curations, so I don't really link it anywhere because of that. I made one ages ago with the idea, I don't know, way back when I kind of thought, hey, it'll be Button Mash gaming community, and it'd be like a clan or something. I don't know. I'm not even sure if I knew what I was going to do with the whole brand at the time, but yeah, I made a Button Mash Steam group page, and I know some people have subbed to it, and I'm pretty sure the last thing I posted was a prize giveaway that I did probably 3 years ago now. This was, I think, this was before the channel. This was like a prize giveaway that we did through the gaming events we were running. And I gave away some ridiculously huge thing. I'd kind of got in like one of the Steam promos. They'd just given me like the Valve Complete Pack for free as a prize. And I already had most of the games in there that were of interest to me, so I was just like, I'll give it away. And I don't know. Some super ungrateful person got it that just got 100 quid's worth of games and just like didn't even say thank you. So I was like, okay, fine. Remind me never to give away 100 pounds worth of games. I feel like I've said 100 grand or something. Did I say 100 grand at some point? It's not 100 grand. All the Valve games together are not worth 100 grand. The 100 pounds. I didn't say grand, right? Did I? I might have done. Who knows? Whatever I said, I meant pounds. £100 worth of games yeah, I'm not going to give that away in future unless I know it's to somebody who's like gone above and beyond. Like maybe to somebody who's named one of my series. No, probably not that much, but I have the long-standing thing where I'm like, a lot of my series have really generic names, and if you can come up with something really cool for it to name them, I will give you a game of some sort. I have many spare Steam keys for many things, and if you help me out by doing the creative part of my channel that I'm no good at, then yeah, we can come to some sort of arrangement. Oh, I see. I gotta go through here, do I? Have they added some content to the game recently? Because this is like 2 weeks in a row. Hey, there we go. Where I found, and that opens that. I found rooms that I'm pretty sure I've never encountered before. Did they just add rooms to Clockworks and not tell anyone? That's two runs through Clockworks in 2 weeks where I found bits of the Clockworks I've never seen before. I've never seen that room before. I swear to God. It's not, to be honest, it's not enough to keep me playing, but interesting to note that 4 years on, 1,000 hours in, I'm still finding new things, which is pretty neat, I suppose. Yeah, that Steam group. Where was I at? I got sidetracked on the giveaway things. Yes. First impressions. If you have a better name for my first impressions than first impressions, let me know. I'll give you a game. Only if I use it. It's not like everybody who suggests something gets a game. If you come with a suggestion that makes me go, yes, that's good enough that I really want to use that, I'll give you a game. So feel free at any point ever in existence to suggest things to me, and if I take them under advisement and they're pretty good, I'll reward you. People have done this. Indie Insight was a viewer suggestion. I asked for names for that, and someone was like, hey, why don't you call your quick look kind of things, your blind first impressions Indie Insight? And I was like, that's a really great name. I like that. So I used that, and they got a free copy of a game. So yay at the giveaways and the freebies for people who help me out. I like people who help me out. Anyway, the Steam group, yes, the Steam group is a thing. It's mainly used for Steam curation, so if you kind of want at a glance, rather than having to sit through all of my first impressions videos, though obviously you should be doing those because they are excellent, you could kind of at a glance find a list of all the things that I think are really great that I've been sent review copies of and recommended in a video at some point. It's just a big list of all the games that someone sent me, hey, can you look at our game? And I was like, yes, I will look at your game. And it turned out that the game they had made was freaking incredible. So there's a big list of them there if you're wanting to know about them. Go find out those. That's what the group's about. In terms of actually playing with me, you know I don't really play with people, right? I've said this like a fajillion times. And I just don't. Even in MMOs are my jam, but even in MMOs, I don't tend to play with other people. I don't know. I'm antisocial. I like MMOs as a principle. I hate people, basically. That's where I'm at. No, that's not true, but yeah, I'm just introverted and keep myself to myself. So yeah, I mean, like occasionally I'll collab with other YouTubers. I'll do stuff with Tolkus occasionally. Tolkus is a distinctly divisive issue. I've had more than a few people in the comments say less than pleasant things about Tolkus, and it's like, yeah, you know, he's my friend, right? You insulting him isn't going to make me stop playing with him. I play with him because I am friends with him, and I enjoy making content with him. If I didn't, I wouldn't keep making videos with Tolkus. So whenever you call him whatever horrible things you want to call him, I'm not cool with that, I'm not on your side with that, and I'm probably going to keep making content with him just to spite you, frankly. I have had some nasty comments about Talkers recently, and I don't want to stand for that. Not on my channel, it's not acceptable. Be nice to people, especially the people I'm friends with and collab with, because they're all cool. Otherwise I wouldn't be collabing with them, frankly. I only collab with cool people. Mostly. I've collabed with some people that came out of the blue in the past, and they were kind of awkward, but yeah, that's neither here nor there. Yeah, playing with me, follow me on Sky Saga, and then I think you're allowed to drop into my levels and stuff. If I'm playing a level, you're allowed to just go, hey, Meroka's doing this, and they'll go, hey, would you like to join Meroka doing the thing? And you can join Meroka doing the thing. I'm going to die here, because there's just going to be a war of attrition, and I don't have the health to out-survive just puddles of death all over the place. Look! So many puddles of death, and I can't cope with all the puddles. The puddles are overwhelming and multitudinous. And if you kill them, they keep coming back. I suppose it would help if I cleared the paths out so that I could make my way through the levels easier. That would probably work in my favour. No. Ah, no, 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 no. Back off, back off, back off. Let me clear the paths. Oh, there's more of them. This is why nobody likes compounds. This is why nobody likes minis. This is why everybody hates you, 3 rings. Go home, 3 rings. You're horrible. I might be able to complete this any day now. Yeah. If you want to play with me, I have no advice for playing with me because I play with people so very, very rarely. Very, very rarely. I tried doing the whole live streaming Blast Network thing a while back because I really wanted that to work. But it turns out that either playing with America, because most people are in America, is not good for my ping. Therefore, I'm trying to play Blast Network, and everything I do just doesn't happen for like half a second, which is not advantageous in PvP. Or I have to force everybody who's playing with me to suffer same penalty. Or... oh, hello. Can we just get out of here? Can we get out? We can just get out? Let me out! Let me out! Freedom! Yeah, I have to force everybody else to do the same penalty, or... It just doesn't work. My internet service provider kind of cripples my live streaming after about an hour or so as well. They're like, hey, you've uploaded too much in too short a space of time. Let's just take away all of your upload speed. And it's like, oh, screw you guys. I hate you. I really hate you. Yeah. That's Virgin, by the way. If you're wondering about ISPs in Britain, that's Virgin. Yeah, they screw with your upload speed if you upload too much in a short space of time. Hard to recommend them on that basis. Yeah. Oh, I have a couple more questions. They will have to wait till next week, I'm afraid, because we are here at the terminal. It has been half an hour, which is ample for one video. But of course, I will need more questions. 2 questions will probably not cut it for next week, so I'll need more. So don't forget to leave them in the comments below. They'll be very appreciated. As always, like I say, if you've got names for series, leave them. Say, hey, why don't you call this series this? I have a clever name for this. I mean, if you just say, oh, Meroka's first impressions, this is not clever, witty, or terribly original, and those are probably not the sort of thing. Some people just seem to think I'm going to give them stuff just for making a suggestion. I'm like, no, I'm looking for clever, interesting, witty things. I mean, Total Biscuit's analogous series to my Indie Insight is 15 Minutes of Game, which is quite a clever little title. Indie Insight, I just dig for the alliteration. I dig alliteration. I don't know if you noticed with the whole Spiral, Spiel, Wildstar, Waffle things I've done. Alliteration works well with me. I'm on board with those. Just thoughts, advice, suggestions. But yeah, that'll do it for today. So thank you very much for watching. I have been Meroka. Don't forget to leave a like if you have enjoyed this video. And I will see you next week.